everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the 2020 love outlook for the sign of Taurus. All right, Taurus, you're up next. So we're going to pull out your romance angel messages for the year. And this is for, of course, a Taurus that is in a relationship, right? So this is going to be a love outlook for 2020, just general love outlook for you and your relationship, okay? So this is not for a single Taurus. All right, let's get right into it. Pull out your angel messages. And then we'll get your animal spirits and go right into your reading. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. All right. And we have wedding. Again, this card comes up. This is a card that's been coming up a lot lately in the weeklies, and now it's showing up for the 2020 love outlook. I think it also came out recently for the Sagittarius as well. So let's get right into your animal spirits. Now, by the way, folks, this animal spirit deck, the animal spirit deck that I'm using is the Colette Baron Reed animal spirit deck, and I'm giving this away for Christmas. So if you want to be in the drawing for this, you obviously will get a brand new one. If you want to be in the drawing for this, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel and leave me a comment in the comment section of any of the videos that you're watching, just to let me know that you are interested. All right, guys? So I don't want to give it to someone who is not going to be working with the deck. It's a beautiful deck. It's a deck that you can probably work with for many, many years. It's very, very nice. 68 cards. So let's get right into it, lovely Taurus. So we're going to pull out your two animal spirits for you and your person. And cards are still quite stiff because they're brand new, but that's okay. I've broken in many, many tarot decks over the years. So, all right, guys, let's get right into it. Bear came out earlier as well for, I think, Sagittarius. Brown bear spirit, take time out. And we have the groundhog spirit. Ooh, time to let go. All right. All right, so let's see what this all entails for you. Let me move this over a little bit. This is quite interesting, these two, right? Because the brown bear, we're going to get right into it. Brown bear, of course, is talking about taking time out to be careful, to be careful in terms of planning out your next move, right? Take a moment to really strategize, and not even so much strategize, but just to be calm, I guess, because the brown bear really is very considerate. This is a spirit of sort of sitting back, thinking, making sure, that you've considered every sort of option, every sort of area before you make your next move. Taking a moment to meditate, right? To get a bit into your own spirit. This is all associated with brown bear spirit. Calm, centered, strong. Now, groundhog spirit, it's time to let go. Of course, groundhogs are very fastidious. Earth animals, both are very earth elemental animals, but the groundhog is just always going around, always doing so much. Work. I think the groundhog can easily get caught up in a lot of the details, right? And so, in a lot of ways, the groundhog spirit comes in to remind us indeed that it's perhaps time to let go. Maybe you're holding on to too many of the little petty details of a certain scenario, right? It can also be this feeling of thinking that you can fix everything. If I just get this done and that done and this done and that, if I can just do all of these different things, then everything will be right. Right? And a lot of times that doesn't work. And so again, we talk about letting go. It's time to let go. Certainly this will be a year, Taurus, of meditating on your own spirit and energy, taking time out to make sure where your head is at, and certainly taking a moment to let go of any kind of stress or pressure that is just bordering on too detailed, right? Too much like nitty-gritty details that can oftentimes really drive you around the bend if that's all you're thinking about, right? So certainly in that way, letting go, right? Letting go of the little things, perhaps that are keeping you sort of on the treadmill in a way, An example would be sometimes, say for instance, you are trying to accomplish a particular project at work, and it's like you're getting caught up in one small detail that you know, if you just sort of got somebody else to handle that detail, you'd be, you know, you'd be progressing forward. But you want to handle it yourself, and it's something that may be out of your skill set, so now you're wasting a lot of time trying to learn a new skill set just to get something done that somebody else who's very experienced at that would do, right? But it's like a control thing. You don't want to let it go because you want to do everything yourself. This is a lot of this sort of groundhog spirit energy, and so in this way we talk about letting go. Sometimes not everything can be done by you. You know what I'm saying, Taurus? And it's, you know, certainly if you're dealing with business, but we're talking about love, right? So it's like you can't do everything for everyone, and you can't be all things to all people. And so certainly in this way, we're talking about letting go. So let's get your spread out, okay, Taurus? We're going to pull out 3 cards for you and 3 cards for your person. They're going to be, you know, how you see yourself, how you see your lover, and how you see the relationship. And then the same for your person, all right? So let's get right into it. My lovely, lovely Tauruses. I hope this 2020 brings your love life a lot of happiness. Although I do see here, we'll see what this all means for you. But certainly this year is going to be a year of you really taking time out for yourself. And retreat and wedding, you know, it could very well be that you and your lover this year just decide to sort of pull away from everyone. Retreat and wedding could be an elopement. You know, some of you may be getting eloping this year. All right, guys. We're going to do your cards first. And then your person's cards. There we go. All right, in the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit, Virgo energy. That's your sister sign. Very nice indeed. Okay, so Virgo energy is feeling very spiritual this year, kind of being very solitary, right? Virgo coming in for a love reading. But let's get right into it. This is how you see yourselves, this is how you see your partner, and how you see the relationship. So you're coming in this year, Taurus, in control, right? You're seeing yourself this year very much being in control of everything. Your life, your relationships, you're setting the tone. You're the one who's going to be deciding which way things go. You know, the Emperor is very much sort of the one in charge, and it's his way or the highway. It's his, you know. Also, it's the Emperor who maintains stability, who builds the strong foundation. And I think for you this year, Taurus, it's all going to be about you sort of being in charge of all of this, right? With the Lover's energy, interesting, your person is resonating with Lover's energy. So they're seeing themselves very much in a love union with you. You may indeed be seeing yourself as the one who's having to take the lead or take control, right? But your lovers definitely sees themselves as a soulmate to you. They see themselves as being part of a soulmate connection this year. Lovers definitely talks about also contradictions coming together, you know, the work that is involved in a relationship. You know, if you want a relationship to truly be harmonious and healthy and functional, like we would see that the lovers want to be, you know, in the eyes of sort of the divine, it requires a lot of work. You know, it requires a lot of work, and it requires a lot of understanding of you and your partner for each other. Because the Lovers is associated with Gemini energy. Of course, the Emperor is associated with Aries, but it's that feeling of like 2 halves making a whole. But the halves are distinct. They're separate and distinct halves, and they fit together like a jigsaw. So there's areas in you that you're missing, your partner has, and then areas that your partner is missing, you know, you have something to offer. And so, you know, unless you both come together with that realization and that mindset and this sort of focused goal that you both share, lovers cannot be lovers, right? The relationship will fall apart. And I think your person is just feeling very, very strongly like they want to work on this union, right? And they want this union, right? Could very well be that they're the ones who want to get married because they're seeing themselves in this strong, you know, connection. You, of course, are just like, and I think Taurus, this year you're resonating with Emperor energy in your love relationships because all across the board, I feel like you're resonating with sort of, I'm in charge. This is my year. You know, I'm not sort of sitting back and letting anybody sort of call the shots. You know what I mean? And even when it comes to my relationship, it's going to be along my timeline, right? Along my vision. It's like you're being very uncompromising, but to a certain degree, that's fine because your lover is all right with that. A lot of you Taurus are really working on business this year as well. And so it's like you can't really, it's like you're being so taking the lead so much in your career and your business area that it's not like you can then switch over in your love life and then suddenly be this sort of submissive person that gives everything over to your partner. It's almost as if this year it's all rolled into one. And your partner, of course, Taurus, is kind of all right with that. Wheel of Fortune is how you see them, and Wands energy is how they see you. So you see this love connection with them as absolutely a good luck charm. You feel very, very lucky to have met them, I believe. And I think you feel very much like, this is definitely your partner in crime, right? The wheel is turning for your life. A lot of great opportunities are coming in, and you very much see your partner as one of those beautiful opportunities that has come into your life. How do they see you? They see you as Knight of Wands, and so they see you as a vivacious, bubbly individual, Taurus. They see you as being very fiery and very supportive to them. They can see that you have ambition, though. Right? They see your ambition here, and certainly the ambition that you're showing, this sort of steadfastness. Just take care that you're not too too severe, too controlling, because Emperor energy can become very controlling. But they see you very much this year as being on your path toward your objective, your passion, your goal, right? And I think, again, like for you, you're feeling very, very lucky to have had them. Some of you are coming, Taurus, out of a real sort of solitary period. Could be that this person, you were not really with them up until recently, or, up until recently you were very much on your own until you met this person. Certainly, this is your relationship for 2020. Now, how do you see the actual relationship, and how do they see it? Well, this is beautiful. Knight of Cups is how you see your relationship with them. It's like you do want to share your cup of love with them. You do, I think, want to take it to the next level, right? And it could be that you both want to retreat from the world, because this work that, Taurus, you're putting in this year is really taking a lot of toll on you. And your person sees this, right? Because you're the Knight of Wands, you're like really going after it very strongly. Yeah, at the same time, you want to exchange your cup of love with your lover, right? And you want to express to them how you really feel. A lot of you may indeed be wanting to get married, Taurus, but I'm not sure that you're taking the lead to ask them. You're at least wanting to make sure they understand that you want them in your life, right? But the Knight of Cups can be quite sort of uncommitted. And I think this year, it's not even so much that you're not committed to them, but you really have so much on your plate this year, Taurus, that it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to commit in the way that you'd like to. Nevertheless, you absolutely see this relationship as one of a lot of romance. You feel engaged. You feel like you want to make you want to make the steps to let them know that you are happy with them, that you're in love with them. They see the relationship as the world, so they feel as though this is absolutely a fated and destined relationship for them. They feel like there's no place else that they would rather be but than to be there with you. And so it's quite, it's really, really quite lovely. It's interesting, though. Time to let go and taking time off, along with retreat. I think that this year you guys are probably going to be dealing with a lot of outside pressures. It could very well be that you guys have family who are trying to pressure you into getting married. And you, Taurus, you're very much kind of trying to take this year as your year to take care of your goals in your life, right? But you're in a relationship with someone that you love very much, that you care for really much, very much. And they're there for you, too. They're very much there in a supportive role, Taurus, because I feel like it's not that they don't have anything going on. They have their own life, but they are certainly there to support you and to help you sort of get on your, achieve what you're trying to achieve, because you're being so domineering. Not even domineering, that has a bad connotation, but you're so much the dominant one in the relationship with this Emperor energy. It's like very much you are certainly the dominant. And this is not gender specific. You could be the female or male, it really doesn't matter. And it's not sexual orientation specific. But because of this dominance that you have and this authority that you have in the relationship, it's like your partner is very much in a supportive role. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're really quite happy to be in that role, because yet and still, they see you very much as this sort of charismatic sort of Knight of Wands that is really going after their ambitions. And so for a lot of you, Taurus, you have someone who does feel very sort of in awe of you. I wouldn't be surprised if they are resonating with groundhog energy in the sense that they may be worried about you. They may be trying to help you. I wouldn't even be surprised. For some of you, you may have a relationship with somebody who actually works for you in your business, like they're your, your aide or some kind of assistant, but yet behind, in private, you guys are also in a relationship. I wouldn't even be surprised because groundhog energy is in a real supportive role for you this year in the sense that they're taking care of everything for you. They're helping you out, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. Just be careful that your partner isn't too sort of wound up, that you're not completely neglecting the fact that they also need, time. They also need, care and attention, and they can't really be doing everything just for you. I know that you will be doing a lot of meditating this year and really thinking about your next steps, right? But again, don't let your poor groundhog do all the work for you. And of course, Taurus, this could be vice versa. For some of you, this role may be switched. Let me get some clarity cards for you, and then we're going to call this the 2020 Love Outlook. This is not really a very deep, long reading. This is just meant to be kind of an overview. If you'd like to get an answer to a question, like, if you believe that someone is thinking about you, you want to know if they're thinking about you, or you want to know if you should contact them, etc. Just like, a short answer to a question without having to book the full reading, you can do that. You can follow the link at the top of your screen for that. And I usually turn around those tarot answers within 4 hours. So if you book, if you were to book now for a tarot answer, send me your question, then you would have the reading within this evening, right? So I just have this service now in a way to sort of quickly turn around answers for people, because a lot of people don't always want to get the full reading. So if this resonates with you and you just have a specific question, check that out. And of course, if you want to get the full reading, you can check that out too. I offer 30-minute and 60-minute readings. All right, guys, so let's see what your clarifiers are, Taurus. And I like the tarot answers because they're very convenient. You get, it's a video just like this, but it's geared towards you and your question. And it's something that you can then have and come back to. So it's really a good way to get into having, the beginning of maybe, or trying out a live reading, right? If you're apprehensive about getting the full reading, this can be an idea of what it feels like to have a tarot reader answer one of your questions. All right, we have, there we go. Princess of Wands, Nine of Wands. We have the Hierophant and the Knight of Swords. All right, bottom of the deck here, we have the Chariot. So, of course, this is what I was saying. This year is a real year of you trying to get something done, Taurus. You're trying to sort of, you know that your life is about to take a really big turn. You know that you're about to go down a very sort of destined path. A lot of us are at a crossroads this year. And so let's get into your clarifiers. You are sort of, it's interesting. Princess of Wands talks about being fearless and really going after your creative outlets. So this year for you, Taurus, this is a huge year for you to sort of go after your creative dreams, right? And conquering fear, you can see her conquering the tiger. Conquering your initial fear is the first step. Princess of Wands is the same as Page of Wands. And so we see here, just like managing that first step to just get up and out in the world and to go after sort of your objectives, right? And the first step is overcoming fear, isn't it? Fear of being really ridiculed or fear of being embarrassed, etc., right? And so she's kind of really just dancing with the tail of the tiger around her neck in this sort of like, I'm ready, I'm free, I'm ready to dance to the world, I'm ready to show the world my creativity. It's a lot of enthusiasm. So this is what you're resonating with this year, but you do have a Nine of Swords and there is some regret. And I think for some of you, you're just being very sort of, it's interesting because Nine of Swords, this comes in towards the latter part of the year. It could very well be that some of you towards a later part of the year, you feel a little bit guilty, right? This is why I'm saying take care not to overwork your groundhog. Retreat. If you guys need to take vacations this year, take vacations, because I think at some point of the year you have a Nine of Swords and that's cruelty, right? And that's also feeling guilty that you may have done something or you didn't act in the way that you really wanted to. Be careful, Taurus, that you don't act, that you don't regret like sort of pushing your groundhog a little too far or just not taking their feelings into consideration, because they are definitely getting worked up, sort of supporting you. I know this is going to be a real sort of fast-moving year for you. Sorry about that. As the trucks honking outside. Fast year for you with the Emperor and Princess of Wands. This is a huge year of you really taking decisive action towards sort of your creative outlets, right? It's like, this is what you're going to do. It's going to be very creative for you, maybe very new, you know, but at the same time, you're getting very sort of caught up in it. And those of you who are in a relationship, you're going to have to take time out for your lover. And I think that's what this means with the bear energy. You have to take some time out for your lover this year, lest you regret at some point how you treated them. Hierophant and Knight of Swords, they are absolutely committed to you, Taurus. This is, of course, your card. Taurus is associated with the Hierophant. But the Hierophant talks about the highest level of commitment because he is sort of our spiritual sort of symbol right here on earth. It's like highest symbol of our spiritual faith on earth. And so, you know, what's the highest form of our commitment? It's our commitment to our spirituality. But when the Hierophant shows up in a love reading, oftentimes it can indicate that someone is just that committed to you. They're that committed to you. They're that committed to the relationship, you know. And Knight of Swords comes in because Knight of Swords is like, he will put all of his attention and focus to a particular problem to solve it. He's extremely creative. He's extremely sort of quick with his mind and his thinking, very quick sort of, you know, quick-witted and logical and clear. And so in a lot of ways, your lover this year, Taurus, is so committed to you, so committed to helping you, so committed to being your support, your confidant. You know, they just believe in you. But they also believe in this relationship with you. So, like I said, they want to be there to help. They feel very much like they have something to offer. But please take care that you just don't overwork your little groundhog, that you don't that you don't sort of take advantage or, you know, don't take into consideration all that they're doing for you. And in this way, make sure you do retreat throughout the year. Make sure that you take your little vacations. Make sure that you take, you know, because your groundhog is going to be, you know, and I keep calling it your groundhog because they're resonating with this adorable energy of support. You know, they just love you and they just want to support you, but they can't help themselves that they get all worked up. Right? There's so much to do. And so you have to be very gentle with them and give them some care. But they just love you to pieces. And this is, I'm going to call it, this is a reading for a Taurus who has a really, really nice relationship with someone who needs to take care of this relationship this year, who needs to make sure to take time out for them and their lover. A relationship is a third entity, you know. You have to take care of your relationship like it's its own separate entity. You know, you have to feed it and take care of it and nurture it, you know. You can't just sort of take things for granted. And this is going to be a big year of changes for you, Taurus, because so many Tauruses are resonating up with finances and career, but your love life is also going to demand a lot of attention, lest you regret some of your decisions. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget, check out my Instagram account. I'm going to put the link up. And also, once again, if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can check out my Tarot Answers, which is a service where you receive a recorded video. It can give you an idea of what to expect when you book a private reading. And then for those of you who would like to actually book a live private reading where we do a live audio video stream and I conduct a reading for you, you can go ahead to that link for that as well. Please like, subscribe, and share and all of that good stuff. But for right now, Taurus, have a wonderful rest of 2019 and I shall see you in 2020. Bye-bye now.